friends. Welcome you all. Thank you, Girija Madam, for the recap. So just to quickly go back on the recap of what we have discussed last time. So it's all about understanding. So we have said that there are 8 categories. So it's all about understanding in which level we are in and what we need to do next, right? How we can progress. And it's not about judgment. It's not about judgment, it's all about understanding. If you are a spiritual person, if you call yourself a spiritual person, then definitely there is no judgment. There is no comparison. There is no complaints. It's only understanding. The more you are an understanding person, the more you are a spiritual person. That is a fundamental definition of spirituality. So just a quick recap again with the levels. So we don't look down on the categories of the people who are in Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka. No, we don't look down upon them. They are perfect. They are perfect in their stage of evolution. So everybody is perfect in their level of evolution. So people who are in Mooladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipuraka, they have taken very few lifetimes compared to the people who are in the level of service. So naturally, with few lifetimes, they have lesser experience and they are doing their best. For example, in the Manipuraka level, these people they have great theoretical understanding of spirituality, but they don't have any practical experience. So theoretical understanding they get by reading books. That's why we call them as scholars and pandits. They know the language and they read the books. Theoretically, they understand about God is within you, you are God, Aham Brahmasmi, and only you can help yourself. All those things theoretically they understand. But when it comes to practical implementation, they cannot live up to what they are teaching, what they are reading, because there's no practical experience, because meditation hasn't entered their life. When meditation hasn't entered their lives, it's only theoretical understanding. So few lifetimes they take that in that position, in that space of understanding theoretically. But there comes a point they feel frustrated with themselves that they speak great things, but they are not able to live that. So out of their own frustration, they start living, they start this quest, the inner quest comes within them. All the scholars, they said, okay, enough, I have enough theoretical understanding. Now I want practical experience. So it is their inner calling which graduates them to the next level. So people from one level to the other level, they graduate based on their inner calling. Okay, it's nothing like we are looking down upon anybody. And the meditation starts in the anahata level, from the heart level. Now in today's topic, it's very much related. So people who up to Mooladhara level, even though they consider themselves to be pure people, nice people, their intentions are good, but most of them, they are not guided by the heart. They are guided by the ego. They are guided by the mind. They are guided by the surrounding situations. So once you reach the anahata level, where there is pure silence, anahata means silence, right? So once they start the practice of mauna, they start listening to the inner voice. So with the practice of mauna comes your capability to listen to your own inner voice. So people ask, one of the very common questions people ask is, how do I know whether it is my intuition or whether it is my mind? This is a very common question. How do I know that whether it is my mind telling me or whether it is my intuition? So it's very simple. If your intuition is guiding you, you will never have this question. But if you're having this question, that means there is an influence of your mind. That means there is at least a certain percentage of influence of your mind. The more you empty the mind, the more your inner voice becomes stronger. The inner voice is already there. For everybody, there is an inner voice. For everybody, there is an intuition. But your capacity to listen to the inner voice, whether it is inner voice or intuition, both are the same. Okay. So your capacity to listen to your inner voice reduces with the more of mind chattering. So the more the mind is chattering, the more you cannot listen to your own inner voice. So the practice of mauna, silence, and the practice of meditation helps you to calm the mind So the more your mind is calmer, the more you are able to listen to your own inner voice. One of the best exercises would be, I'll tell normally to the people, whoever have this question, I'll say, okay, do this experiment. Anytime you want to make important decisions in your life, meditate for 1 hour. Just meditate for 1 hour, close your eyes, observe your breath, surrender to your breath. Let your thoughts completely surrender to your breath. Let your mind surrender to your breath. How do you do that? So when you close your eyes, when you start observing the breath, you might notice a lot of thoughts or worries or tensions. Let go of it completely. Completely let go of it. Again and again, come back to the breath. Totally surrender to the breath. Let your 100% awareness be only on your breath. In spite of the concerns, in spite of the worries, in spite of the tensions, you make an effort to be with your breath totally. So you meditate for 1 hour. And after you open your eyes, whatever you feel in your heart, the first feeling you feel in your heart, you take that decision. Okay. So that is your inner voice. That is your intuition. Because during meditation, your mind is in a very calm state. And after you come out of the meditation, what you feel in your heart is your intuition. So this is the way you can make sure that it is not your mind, but it is your intuition which is speaking. And the one thing you have to remember is when you follow your heart, following your heart simply means you are listening to your inner voice, which is nothing but intuition. So following your heart, intuition, inner voice, all three are the same. When you follow your intuition, your inner voice, your heart feeling, you can never go wrong. It appears to be like, you're not sure whether it's the right thing or whether it's the right decision or right choice. But rest assured, you be confident that when you follow your heart, you can never go wrong. Come what may. Sometimes you might sometimes your heart might guide you to take a certain decision. And at a later stage, you might feel, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done it. No, it's not correct. Your heart has guided you to take that decision so that you learn certain lessons. And with that, you become a better person. With that, you become an empowered person. And then from there, the next step, the next door is opened. It's like this. Always the universe or God or creation, all are one and the same. It's a different words, but it's the expression, the meaning, the essence is the same. You take one step, the next step will be shown, right? So you standing on the first floor, you standing on the first step, you cannot see what is on the seventh step. But you take the first step, the second step will be shown to you. Then you step onto the second step, then the third step will be shown to you. So similarly, in life, in our life, every stage of our life or every day of our life, when you follow the heart and when you take that decision on that day, so the next decision will be very clear to you. The next step will be very clear to you. Every day, every moment, it is very, very important to follow your heart. Sometimes we do mistakes, sometimes we fall down, but these experiences are very necessary for us to learn certain lessons. And this is a very great exercise, my dear friends. All the time, whether to go left or whether to go right, to do it or not to do it. It's $1 million question. For every person, it's $1 million question. So what is the difference between a normal person and an enlightened person? A normal person doesn't know which way to go, and he gets easily influenced by the surroundings with the external influences. And there is every possibility he will do a wrong step. But for an enlightened person, he always follows the heart. So when he always follows the heart, then he is guided by the inner voice, he is guided by the intuition. So he can never go wrong. So another exercise could be, the first exercise I said is you meditate, and then whatever the feeling you get, you follow it. That's one. The other exercise, sometimes you need to make an instant decision. You don't have 1 hour time to sit and meditate and decide. For small things, you need to decide immediately. So an exercise would be, place your palms, both your palms on your heart, and you just close your eyes and see, okay, I'm going to take the left direction. So what is the possible result? So you visualize that result. Okay, so how is it feeling in my heart? You feel expanded, you feel warm, then that is the right decision. Suppose, you're thinking about the outcome when you take the left direction, and then you feel your heart is shrink, like, it is compressed. You don't feel warm in your heart. then that is not the right decision. So this is how there's another exercise. To be more clear, I'll give an example. So normally, people tend to take decisions like, um, house, when you are buying a house, or when you're making a certain investment, buying a property, or certain relationship issues, you want to take which way to go. So quickly just feel it in your heart. You visualize you are buying that house, and how you feel in your house, how you feel yourself. Then if you feel warm, then that is the right decision for you. And when you visualize, when you feel that you buying that house, but you are not expanded, you are not happy, you're not feeling good in your heart, then that's not the decision for you. So this is how you can do it. With the practice of meditation, naturally you know how to connect yourself. With the practice of mauna, naturally you can connect yourself. If you really want to understand the depth of mauna, you have to experiment it. Unless you experiment it, you cannot understand the depth of it. Just one day of mauna, 24 hours, just one day of mauna. Okay, you be in mauna and you practice mindfulness. While you are in that mauna, the day of mauna, you practice mindfulness. In that one day, you will have a lot of clarity coming from within. It is the clarity which differentiates between a normal person and an enlightened person. An enlightened person is full of clarity. A normal person is full of confusion. And out of confusion, the clarity naturally arises. First, you go through the confusion, and then out of the confusion, the clarity comes. So you might ask a question, an enlightened person never goes through confusion? No, it's wrong. Both an enlightened person and a non-enlightened person both go through the confusion. But for an enlightened person, from the confusion, the clarity arises, like from the mud, the lotus blossoms. So an enlightened person goes through the confusion in few seconds, and then the clarity arises within, because he knows how to follow the heart. So when you follow the heart, the clarity arises like the lotus blossoming. If you don't follow the heart, then you are stuck on the mind level, and the mind is influenced by the external surroundings and the situations and the fears and the phobias and the judgments and the opinions of others. So when you are in the mind space, you are bound to go through confusion. When you're in the heart space, you are bound to be in clarity. That is a very simple understanding, my dear friends. So people ask why we need to follow the heart. Why can't we use logic, and why can't we use mind to make decisions? Because I'm a very logical person. I am working in an MNC, I like to be logical. So there is this misunderstanding that if you follow the heart, you cannot be logical. No, that is not correct. When you follow the heart, your heart is in alignment with your mind. So that means your logic, which is in other words, your common sense, will become aligned with your heart. For example, you want to buy a house. Your heart is saying, okay, go buy that house. And then once you get that feeling that you have to buy the house, immediately your logic also will say, yeah, yes, it is perfect, because the house is in a good location, and it has a nice view, it has a lot of sunlight, so it makes sense that you buy that house. So logically also it will be aligned. So when you are following your heart, you are not only getting the guidance from your soul, it also matches your logic. So the common misunderstanding, if you're always in your emotional space, if you're always in the heart space, you cannot be practical. That is not correct. The more you are in the heart space, the more you are practical. In other words, the more you are spiritual, the more you are a practical person. Spirituality is all about taking responsibility, right? So some misunderstanding is that spiritual people are not practical people. No, that's not correct. If you are a real spiritual person, then you are a real practical person. Spirituality is equal to taking responsibility. When you take responsibility, then you are really practical. You have to be practical. Okay. So this is where the heart and the mind comes into alignment. The heart and mind coming into alignment is you are taking the right decision, but at the same time, it is a very practical decision. It is a right decision. So this alignment is very, very important. Some people who are just the beginners in their meditation and spirituality, or who are in some kind of illusion in spirituality, they go with only the emotional feeling of it, but they don't get aligned with the practical aspect of it. They don't take responsibility for their life. So when you don't take responsibility for your life, when you're not practical, then also you will not take the right decisions. So you should be a practical person and you should take responsibility for every action you do. You need to understand the consequences. Practical person means you understand the consequences. Responsibility means you understand the consequences. So you are a practical person, you are a responsible person, and then number three, you are a person who is always guided by heart. Then you can never go wrong. That is the perfect intuitive guidance you can follow with. Okay, so I can go on and on about this with many examples, but let us take some questions, and based on the questions, maybe a more clear understanding will come. So the questions can be either on today's topic or the topic we spoke on the first day and the second day. So let us stick on to the topics which we have covered so far. So I'm open to take questions. Please type your questions in the chat box, and we'll take up that question one by one. Maybe I'll let Neelima ask the questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Pradeep. So we have our first question, which is from Prija Adesh. How do we recognize thought is coming from mind or heart?
Okay, so I think we have addressed this question as I gave an example before. But once again, to answer, feelings are from your heart. So your feelings, you feel very strongly in your being, deep in your being, you feel something. It's not coming from here, but it is coming from this space, the chest region. Okay, so you feel strongly in this space, then it is a guidance from your heart. Again, how to make sure that you are connected to your heart space is you sit in meditation, you calm your mind and sit in meditation. When your mind is calm, when your mind has lesser thoughts, then by default you are in heart space. If your mind is agitated, then you are never in the heart space. So the more you meditate, the more you are calming your mind. As a regular practice, every day you meditate, every day you calm your mind for half an hour, for 1 hour, then more you are in the heart space. So I repeat, before you taking any decision, at least even for 10 minutes, even for 10 minutes, even for 15 minutes, you close your eyes, you meditate, and immediately after you come out of the meditation, your mind, your mind is calm. You can feel that you are in a happy space. Mind being calm means you are in a happy space, you are in an expanded space. So in that space, when you're happy, when you're expanded, when you're joyful, whatever the decision you take will be the right decision. Okay, next question.
So masters, we request you to post your questions on YouTube live chat so that Pradeep sir, he will be addressing your answers through the question. And next we are having a question from Umesh Kumar Dubey. Sir, what is the difference between man and thought?
I don't understand this question. Okay, so I request you post the questions which are relevant.
So we have our next question from Anne from Vietnam. Should we learn courses by teachers that are 1 to 3 stages above our soul stage? Or we can also learn from their souls below our soul stage?
Okay. So when I say soul stages, in simple words, the categories of the people, whatever you are, in whatever level you are in, you can learn to go to the next stage. For example, if you are in grade 5, you can focus on going to grade 6. But being in grade 5, you cannot go to the 10th grade. Even if you go sit in the 10th grade class, you understand very little because the syllabus is too much for you. So I would say you learn from anything you feel like learning is your stage. As long as you can take it, why not learn it? So for example, you are in the stage of anahata. For example, you started meditating. You started meditating and you want to go to the stage of teaching meditation. Why not teach? but teach only what you know, right? So you are meditating and you have a certain experience. So based on that experience, like, you close your eyes, observe the breath, your mind becomes empty. You have experienced it. Yes, why not? Teach it because it's in your experience. Or you feel like doing service, you feel that that is the next stage. Can I do service? You feel like doing it. That means you are eligible for it. So whatever you feel like doing it, you are in that stage. Okay, so don't analyze what stage I am in using your mind. Feel it in your heart. You feel like doing meditation, do it. You feel like teaching meditation, you do it. You feel like doing service, you do it. And now here the confusion comes. I feel like doing all the three. How is it possible to see in which stage I am in? You see, you can be a businessman, and you like to have a certain control on the people and the money and things. At the same time, you like to read a lot of books and you are interested in theoretical knowledge. But at the same time, you do a little bit of meditation. At the same time, you do a little bit of service. If all those things are there, people get confused. I don't know which level I am in. So it's very simple. You can simultaneously be in all the levels, but which character or which quality is your dominant quality? That determines which level you are in. You have already come into meditation. That means there is no possibility you are in the 1, 2, 3 levels. You are above. So you are in the anahata. The moment you have started the meditation, the moment you have come into the practice of meditation, the moment you started sincerely doing meditation, that means you are by default, minimum you are in the anahata level. You just meditating one day and disappearing, that doesn't mean anything. But you are meditating every day, and simultaneously you are a businessman, and simultaneously you are earning a lot of money. So that means your minimum level is the 4. So it is like this, you are playing the notes in the music. You're taking a flute and there are notes: sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So first is sa, the next note is re, the next note is ga. So first you master the first note, then you graduate to the second note, then you graduate to the third note. So like that, we have 7 notes in the music: sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. 7 notes are there. So the moment you graduate to the next note, I hope the people who know the music, they understand this. So as a student of music, you first focus on the first note, second note, and then you graduate to the 1, 2, 3 notes, and then you graduate to the 1, 2, 3, 4 notes simultaneously playing. And after you master the first 4 notes, then you master 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. So when you're graduating, it doesn't mean you are letting go of the previous ones. So along with the previous note, you have graduated to the new note. So when your focus is on service, that is your highest note. So that doesn't mean that you are not playing the other notes. You are doing other things. You are doing business, you are enjoying the money, fame, and also you are doing meditation, also you are teaching meditation, and also you are doing service. So you might have all the qualities, but which is your dominant one? That determines which level you are in. So your focus is only on meditation. Then to graduate to the next level, you should teach meditation. You are okay, you're focusing on meditation, you are teaching meditation, and what else to do? So along with that, do as much service as possible. Your service need not to be limited to only teaching meditation. Your service can be to travel from one place to another place, go to every village, go to every town, and then teach meditation. Establish meditation centers. Okay, you help others become teachers. You are a teacher, now you become a master teacher. You help others become teachers. Okay, so that is the next level. So you have to feel at what level you are in, and you make an attempt to do the next thing. So that's how you graduate to the next one. So the common misunderstanding: if you are in one level, that means you don't do the other things. No, you do everything simultaneously. You enjoy the physicality, you enjoy the spirituality, but which one is your dominant quality? That determines which level you are in. And again, once again, I repeat, it is not hierarchical. These levels are not hierarchical, but this is horizontal. If you understand that the stages of soul evolution is hierarchical, then you are absolutely wrong. It is never hierarchical, it is horizontal. The levels are horizontal, one after the other after the other. All are on the same level, but you're just moving forward, on the horizontally. Vertically, you never move forward. In spirituality, there is no hierarchy. In spirituality, it's all horizontal. Okay. Next question.
So there is the same third question from the same person, Anna. So intuition is the voice of our soul. Is it the voice of our higher self and God self? If so, then how can we connect to our God self?
Okay. Whether you call it as a higher self, or whether you call it as divine self, or whether you call it as spirit, whether you call it as God, all are the same. Different words, but it's the same meaning. Okay. So your intuition, your inner voice is a communication from your soul, from to your Atma, from Paramatma. Paramatma, God, higher self, spirit, all are the same. Okay. So the communication, the transmission is between you, which is your Atma, and your Paramatma. In other words, with your self and higher self. Next.
Thank you. And then we have our question from Rajilakshmi ji from Andhra Pradesh. Does a soul at a particular chakra implies that the below chakras are all perfect or aligned?
You can never say that the chakra is perfect, because the chakra is a wheel. It's always in motion. So the right understanding would be, it's always a work in progress. There's always something to learn. There is a scope for perfection. So you can never say that my Muladhara is perfect, and once my Muladhara is perfect, then I go to Swadhisthana. Once my Swadhisthana is perfect, then I go to Manipuraka. When my Manipuraka becomes perfect, then I go to Anahata. No, it's not like that. You work with your Muladhara to a certain extent, and then you graduate to Swadhisthana. And then simultaneously you work with Muladhara and Swadhisthana. And you learn in Swadhisthana for a certain period of time, and then you graduate to Manipuraka. Then you work simultaneously Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka. All three you work simultaneously. Then you work with the Swadhisthana, Manipuraka to a certain level. Then you go to Anahata. Then you graduate to Anahata level. And now when you have graduated to Anahata level, you are working simultaneously. Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, you are working simultaneously. So it's always a work in progress. Unless and until you have become enlightened, all your chakras are always work in progress. So that means you are learning from the Manipuraka level, from the Swadhisthana level, from the Muladhara level, from the Anahata level, from all levels you are constantly working. So you can be a great meditator, but still you might have some lessons pending in the Muladhara level. You might have certain lessons pending in the Manipuraka level. So it's always a work in progress. You are constantly learning. So that's why it is very important to focus on lessons. In any given situation, always you focus on lessons. As long as you are learning from every situation, as long as you are learning from every challenge, as long as you are learning from every episode of your life, as long as you are learning from every relationship around you, you are constantly working and progressing in all the levels. Okay.
I think our previous question, Omeshji, who I have asked, sir, what is the difference between man and thought? It's not man, sorry, it's man.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it in English. Yeah.
Man it is a Sanskrit word. Man means mind, right? Thought. What is the difference between mind and thought? Mind is a bundle of thoughts. A thought is just a thought which comes. So a thought is just one speck, and the mind is a bundle of thoughts. Okay. So that is the difference. You can call a thought is a subset of mind. Mind is a superset of a thought. Next.
Okay. Then we have our next question from Khyati Padgama. So her question is, what is the role of Reiki if it is an interruption in one's soul plan? So right now, this earth needs healing too, and Reiki can heal. So please guide me on these conflicting sentences.
Okay, so Reiki was introduced to the planet Earth during the Second World War in the 1940s and 1950s. Reiki was introduced for a healing process because Earth was going through a lot of violence and wars, and the whole world is in war, and a lot of people are in pain and suffering. So Reiki was introduced, the technique of Reiki was introduced to planet Earth by the star beings. The dimension from the other beings, they intuitively guided to certain people who are sensitive in their heart so that they can assist in the healing process. Now, it had its own role. Reiki had its own time role to play, and it was introduced at a time which was very much needed on the planet Earth. And now we are ascending, the whole Earth consciousness is ascending to the fifth dimension. In other words, we are heading towards the love-based vibration. And so the role of Reiki was very important at the time in 1940s and 50s and 60s. The role of Reiki was very important. But now we are in the age of light, because that time it is the age of darkness. So a lot of wars and age of darkness. When I say a lot of wars, that means I'm mentioning about World War One. The whole world is at war, World War One and World War Two. So now we are graduating towards age of light, and in this age, it is the Reiki holds very minimum significance. So now you have to graduate to from Reiki to helping yourself. Apodipo bhava, be a light unto yourself. So in the dark age, see, when the whole world in the night, the whole world is dark, the sky is dark, and not the whole world. See, in the night the sky is dark. In the night the sky is dark, and the moonlight is a great light. In the daytime, the moon still exists, but the sunlight comes. When the sunlight comes, moon is still there, moonlight is still there, but the significance of the moonlight is negligible because the sunlight is more powerful. So during the dark ages, Reiki had its significance. Now we are in the age of light. Now it is the meditation, it is the self-help, it is you being your own guide, you being your own light, you being your own guru. This matters now because this is like a sunshine. Meditation is like a sunshine. In the absence of meditation, Reiki has a role. But when meditation comes, then Reiki has very little significance. So that is how you need to understand. If you're a Reiki healer, your intention to practice Reiki is to help others. Okay, so all healers, they have pure intention. The intention is to help others. The intention is to support the humanity. So that is the very basic intention behind every healer. So the intentions are pure. Now they have to understand meditation and guiding meditation enables the person to help themselves. In Reiki, you help the other person. You act like a channel. Reiki, you act like a channel so that the energy passes through you and it passes through the other person. It helps the other person. But it is a very temporary help because the other person comes back to you. If the problem persists, the problem will persist and the person will come back to you. So you're making the other person dependent on you. But in meditation, you are not passing any energy. You're not trying to be a conduit. You're not trying to do anything. You are simply empowering the person. You ask the person to close your eyes and observe the breath and be his own healer. So in that way, you are empowering the person. If every person empowers another person, the whole planet Earth becomes enlightened. So this is the age of light. Now, in the age of light, Reiki's significance is very minimum. So my understanding is meditation is now the need of the hour. And you practice Reiki to a certain person, and also you teach meditation to a certain person. There is a humongous difference because you teach meditation to a certain person, you are empowering him for not only in this lifetime, for the lifetimes to come. But Reiki has a very minimum significant shift in the consciousness. Meditation has the capacity to shift the consciousness to a quantum leap, to an enlightened level. And one person getting enlightened changes the atmosphere in the house and in the community, in the whole country. So one candle can brighten up one candle can light millions of candles without losing its own life. That is the power of meditation. I hope I have given the answer.
It's a beautiful answer. So we have our next question. So we don't know the name. It says Realme 7 Pro. Oh, why is that insights and godly visions are not coming for born blind and deaf people who do meditation? Will these experiences are only for people with all the senses which are functioning?
The question itself is wrong. Whether you are blind or deaf, it doesn't matter. You are a soul. Okay, so everybody has a consciousness. Everybody has feelings in their heart. Whether you are blind or deaf, it doesn't matter. Everybody will have inner guidance. Everybody will have intuition. So the very question itself is wrong. Next.
So next we have a question from Manjari. Her question is, what is Samadhi state in meditation? And how does she know that we are in the Samadhi state? We are in Samadhi.
Samadhi state simply means no thought state. That's all. When you're in a no thought state, when see, in meditation, your awareness goes beyond the body level. So that's why when you sit in meditation, you clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and you cross your feet, and you make your body still. You close your eyes, you close your mouth, and you make your body still. So, and then we start observing the breath. So your awareness goes beyond the body level. When your body is still, your awareness goes beyond the body level, which is the mind level. And then the more you observe the breath, the more your thoughts reduces. So your awareness goes beyond the mind level. So when your awareness goes beyond the body level, beyond the mind level simply means there is no thoughts. So you get into your space, where there is no time, and you cannot feel your you cannot feel your body. You cannot feel your body, you cannot feel your surroundings, and you go beyond time and space. Okay, you cannot feel your body, you cannot feel the time, you cannot feel the space. So that is a Samadhi state. Samadhi state or meditative state or empty mind state, all are the same. Okay, so simple understanding is, when you go beyond the body, when you go beyond the mind, when you go beyond the space, you are in Samadhi state. That's all. Next.
So we have our next question from Snehal Kadam. The question is, when someone has no vision, but energy come in body and go heart and upper chakra every time. So that I take as energy work done by Manipura Swadhisthana Mooladhara. We don't know if it is a question.
Okay, so you are doing meditation, you close your eyes and you surrender to your breath. That's all. What happens, you don't bother. Because if you focus on, oh, the energy is passing and the energy is working on my Mooladhara, the energy is working on my Manipuraka, I'm feeling energy in my bodies and I'm feeling energy in my throat. When you're so much focused on the energy movements in the body, you are stuck on the mind level, you're stuck on the body level. So you just focus on the breath, and when you feel energy movements going through your body, give a little bit of attention. Just a little bit of attention you give on the energy movements of the body, but the maximum attention you give on the breath. Okay, so in Buddhist terms, it is called Kayanupasana. First, you start with anapanasati. First stage is anapanasati. Anapanasati, you close your eyes, observe the inflow and outflow of your natural breath. That is, ana is inhalation, apana means exhalation. Sati means to become one. So to become one with your natural inflow and outflow is anapana. That is the first stage. You begin with that, and that is the only stage you focus on. And then naturally you graduate to the second stage without you making anything extra. You naturally go to the second stage, which is the Kayanupasana. Kaya means body. Anu means little bit. Anu, little. So Kayanupasana means the more you are in Anapanasati, the more you start feeling the energy movements all over your etheric body. Your chakras are in your etheric body. Your chakra system is in your energy body, etheric body. So more you receive cosmic energy, the more you will feel the energy flow in all your energy system, in all your etheric body, energy body. So don't get stuck there. So Anupasana, Kaya means body. Whatever the energy feelings you are feeling in your body, Anu means little bit. Focus little bit, not too much. Focus little bit, and then come back to the breath. Then you go to the third stage, which is Vipassana. Vipassana means you are able to perceive the beyond physical things like clairaudience, clairvoyance, the third eye. So all those things comes under vipassana. You focus deeply in that vipassana. So when you are focused on the bodily level, then you cannot go graduate to the next level. So your focus on the energy movements in the chakra system, energy movements in the body should be very little bit. Just observe, give a little bit attention, and then quickly come back to your breath. Then vipassana happens. Vipassana means your ability to see that you are a soul, your ability to have out of body experiences. So these are all comes under vipassana. Okay. So the answer is, don't give too much attention to the energy movements in your chakra system. Come back to the breath. That is Kayanupasana stage. Then only you can graduate to the Vipassana stage. Vipassana stage is a third eye opening, third eye perfecting stage. And in the Vipassana stage, when you perfect in the Vipassana, then the third eye also closes. Then the fourth eye opens, and the fourth eye is the wisdom eye. In the fourth eye stage, there is no visions. There is nothing. There's only pure blankness, and that is Samadhi. Complete blankness, complete emptiness, where you feel you are everything. It's a paradoxical thing where you are everywhere, but you are nowhere. You are complete, but you are empty. So that is a paradoxical thing, the fourth eye stage, where there is only realization, there is only understanding. There is nothing to see, but there is everything to realize. That is perfecting the third eye, which is the fourth eye. Perfecting the third eye, or in other words, spiritual eye or fourth eye, means there is nothing for you to see, there is nothing for you to feel, but there is something for you to realize yourself. That is self-realization. Okay? So that is the fourth eye stage. So again and again, you have to come back to the breath. Okay, so you feel energy movements in the body, give a little bit attention, come back to the breath. Then the third eye activates. You see a lot of colors, you see a lot of visions, you hear a lot of things. Enjoy all those experiences. Perfectly enjoy all those experiences, but come back to the breath. Come back to the breath. Then the fourth eye awakens. The realization happens. Okay. Next question.
Yeah, the next question is from Preeta. She is unable to make any eye contact with anybody since her childhood. The past 12 years, she's more into spiritual path and did a lot of meditation. And even then, she can't make any eye contact. And similar to it, sir, we have also a couple of questions relevant to that. Like some of them are still having fears in their dreams and having still anger issues. So I just felt to combine everything and yeah.
See, if you're still having anger issues, you're still having fears, you might say that I'm meditating for 10 years, I'm meditating for 20 years, still I cannot look directly into the eyes of the people. I cannot have an eye contact. I'm going through fear, I'm going through uncertainties, I'm going through a lot of things. Why it is? The answer is very simple. You don't know how much karmic baggage you have. You don't know how much karma you have done in so many hundreds of lifetimes. So when you're going through this karmic clearing process, it is quite natural that you go through fears, you go through uncertainties, you go through anxieties. It is quite natural. So trust the process. Meditation is a process which helps you to go to the next level in your evolution. Meditation is a process which helps you to be more aware at any given point of a situation. Meditation gives you energy. Meditation increases your awareness. So with more energy, you have more capacity to face your fears. With more awareness, you identify your own blocks. You self-identify your own blocks through awareness and you work on it. Meditation is a tool which helps you to identify your own issues and come out of those issues. And to come out of those issues, you need to face the issues. You need to, for example, fear. You want to come out of the fear. How do you come out of the fear? The only way you can come out of the fear is face the fears. To face the fears, you need a lot of energy. So first, you need to be aware that you are going through a certain fear. And also you need energy to face the fears. So meditation gives you awareness and energy. So with more and more awareness, with more and more energy, you naturally come out of all your emotional blocks and you naturally graduate to the next level. Be patient. Have patience in your life. It's not a one-day affair. Enlightenment is not a one-day affair or a few years of affairs. It is few lifetimes of affairs. Okay, have patience. As long as you are progressing in life, that is enough. Take baby steps, one step at a time, one step at a time. Take baby steps. Eventually, you will be enlightened. The destination is not the goal. Everybody who is born on the planet Earth is bound to get enlightened. If not this lifetime, after 10 lifetimes or after 100 lifetimes, it doesn't matter. Every person who is born on the earth is bound to get enlightened. It is not the destination which matters, but it is the journey which matters. The beauty is in the journey. Okay? So you have trust in the process and keep moving forward. That is the answer. Have trust in the meditation process and keep moving forward. Along with meditation, focus on service. Whatever you can afford to share, the good things you have, the wealth you have, the excess wealth you have, the good qualities you have, the knowledge you have, the wisdom you have, keep sharing with others. The more you share, the more you are dropping your karmic baggage, right? So more meditation, more service, and to be patient, and and just trust the process. That is more important. Trusting the process is important. You are constantly progressing. You may not be able to see the progress. You may not be able to see the progress if you take few days or few years. You may not be able to see the progress. But if you see from a soul perspective, wow, what a grand progress the journey is. Okay, so trust the process and continue meditation and do more service. That is the only way you come out of all the issues. Next.
Yeah. Next, we have a question from Priyanka Sinha. She's from Kolkata. And she's writing, if she don't meditate or just sit and don't go in meditative stage, she feel weak and she wants to reduce the dependency on meditation.
This is this question doesn't make any meaning, because meditation is a tool to make you independent. Meditation, in fact, is the only tool which will make you not dependent on others. Okay, so the more you want to be independent, the more you become dependent on your own breath. Okay, the more you are dependent on your own self, in other words, the more you are dependent on your own breath, you depending on your own breath is the grandest independence, is the grandest freedom you can give it to yourself. Okay, next.
Yeah, next we have the question from Rajinder Kaur. I'm doing meditation for a long time, but I don't feel oneness. Could you guide me how to achieve oneness?
Oneness simply means that you are able to see yourself in everybody. Okay, so Aham Brahmasmi, the essence of me is the same as the essence of everybody. You are able to see yourself as God, you are able to see everybody as God. That is Aham Brahmasmi. That state comes very naturally. You don't make efforts to get to that stage. You simply meditate. The more you meditate, the more naturally you become a self-realized person. And when you are a self-realized person, you feel that you are not alone. You are the same as everybody, is the same as the whole creation. This understanding comes very naturally. You don't use your mind to feel the oneness. Okay, you simply do meditation over a period of time. Naturally, the oneness feeling automatically arises in your heart. It blossoms in your heart. It is like this: you plant small plant. Then, when the plant grows up, then the buds come. Then the flowering happens, and when the flowering happens, the fragrance naturally radiates. The flower naturally radiates the fragrance when the blossoming happens. Okay, so first the plant needs to grow. Then the bud starts sprouting, and then the flowering process, and then the fragrance radiates. So you radiating the feeling of oneness is a very natural process. Give time, have patience, do meditation. Don't focus on oneness. Enjoy the journey. Today you are meditating, and this moment matters. In meditation, this moment matters. Today you are meditating, today you are feeling calm and peace, and you are feeling wonderful. That matters. Tomorrow will take care of itself. What you have is today. So focus on today. Focus on meditation. The feeling of abundance, the feeling of oneness, and everything comes automatic, very naturally, in the right time, in the divine time. In the divine time, everything happens naturally. Your only focus is, are you sincere in meditation? That is the only question you should ask. Are you sincere in meditation? Are you serious in meditation? That means, are you doing everyday meditation? Are you doing regular meditation? Are you sincerely doing and every day doing regularly? These are the only two things you need to take care. Are you sincere in meditation? Are you regular in meditation? So, sincerity and seriousness, these are the only things, these are the only two things you take care. And rest is automatic. Don't even think about the rest of the things. Do only sincere and seriousness, sincerity and seriousness. That's all. The rest of the things is automatic. Next.
That's wonderful. So we have our next question from Bhuvaneshwari Hariharan. So sometimes external factors affect the calmness of mind and so the heart. So even in this scenario, do we need to meditate? Do we need to meditate to find solutions?
Okay. So let this be the last question, because I'm in the middle of a workshop, a 3 days workshop in Geneva in Switzerland. So I have to go another couple of minutes. So this will be the last question. Yes, when the external factors disturb you, that is the time definitely you need to do more meditation. Okay. Meditation is more needed for the people who are going through more disturbance. So when the external factors are impacting you, like, when there is no calmness, there is so much of disturbance and there is so much of judgments around and the place is not conducive, the atmosphere is not conducive, that is the moment you really need meditation. And meditation you can do anytime, any place, any situation. Simply close your eyes and sit. Whatever might be the external factor, you can close your eyes and sit for a few minutes. The more you close your eyes and the more you make an attempt to focus on the breath, you notice that the external factors are not much of disturbing factors. Where there is no meditation, the external factors impact you. But where there is meditation, the external factors have very minimum impact. So if you want to really help yourself from all the external disturbance, you close your eyes and sit. First, you close your eyes and sit and meditate. That is the very first step you have to do. Sit, close your eyes and sit, close your eyes and sit. And then you will notice that the external factors are of very minimum significance. It comes to a point where it doesn't matter. You are in the middle of the marketplace, but you are not disturbed. You are surrounded with all the negative thoughts, but you are not disturbed. So meditation is really needed for the people who are going through a lot of disturbance. Okay. So do this experiment and you will know what I'm saying. Thank you very much, friends. I need to go now, and all the best wishes. And there's also another announcement that during this Navaratri, which starts in, I think, April 9th, it starts. So we are going to do a 9 days continuous program, and we'll let you know in the group with all the login details. But still, the Sunday sessions will continue. So every Sunday, we'll try to meet and we'll try to interact, and we do this Sangatyam, Sajjana Sangatyam. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I wish you all well and take care of yourself. And remember, meditation is the only way to be independent. And meditation is the only way you can help yourself. Thank you very much. All the best. Namaste to all. Thank you.